the second is your thank you, which is basically establishing respect and discipline in the room. And then we're going to jump straight to an activity. All right. Your activity should have something to do with the career path you're representing. You may not know what career path you're representing. You may know immediately. For example, Hedro is going to be representing manufacturing. Business and finance, I'm guessing?
Yes.
Okay. Mike would be manufacturing. You're logistics, but would that be transportation? You're representing transportation.
I'm representing, yeah.
Okay. So in 8th grade, all students pick their career path. In Hall County and Gainesville, they have 16 career paths to choose from. Okay? In the 8th grade, they choose their career path. They're going to focus on their entire time when they're in high school. If they choose the one that they're going to stick with for all 4 years, they have benefits to that, such as they could complete a pathway and therefore get certificates in first aid, in welding, in what have you. So switching pathways is not encouraged like when some of us were in school where we switched, what do we call those? You know, where we went to chorus to art to
Electives.
electives. Yes, electives. Where we switched an elective every 5 seconds, it's not encouraged. They wanted to stick with one thing. So you're representing that one of those 16 career paths. So it's important that you know which career path you're representing. So we did our shout out, our thank you, and now we're going to do an activity. Does anyone already know what their activity is going to be to relate to their career path? Yes, Chris.
Yes,
That is your name.
that is correct.
Very good. What is your activity?
So my activity is I'll have a slinky or a couple slinkies in my presentation to kind of demonstrate exactly what we do, or at least what I do and what my team does within our manufacturing facility. So we're testing the mechanical properties of the material. And so the properties are tensile, yield, and elongation.
Ooh.
So the slinky, as everybody remembers the name as a kid, you'd grab an end and your sister would grab another end and you'd pull it so far and it'd snap back.
Yeah.
And then one of the siblings would get mad and pull it too far and it wouldn't snap back. So we've gone past the yield point. So when we measure the properties of our metal, we actually get the yield strength, which is the yield point of what I'm going to demonstrate with the slinky. And then if I can have one that may break, that would be the ultimate tensile. So it kind of gives them an idea of the exact.
Excellent.
You made me want to come work with you.
I know. Okay. Chris has.
I hope they even know what a slinky is.
Yeah, I know.
Don't ask.
They'll be Googling it.
Whatever, it's a toy. So yes, he has toys to play with that represent science. Basically, that was really good. Anybody else have an activity they've already established?
I'll be talking about engineering, and since our company builds electric motors that power rides at Disney and Universal Studios, we'll have a video talking about that, and then relating, what's all the engineering going on here that keeps you from flying outside the car. So
Very cool. Very, very cool. Okay. So he has a video. Y'all, we have a toy and a video. Now what do we have here?
This is kind of a work in progress that we're thinking about, but we'll start with a video that's what would happen if trucks stopped running, which is kind of dramatic. And then we will do a demo and let some of the kids participate in a mock dispatching a truck driver.
Ooh, cool.
With a headset.
Oh, they get to wear. Oh, they have.
You get to wear the
props.
headset. Yes.
Okay, we have props and a video. Very good. Y'all see the theme here? Okay, does this freak anybody out in the room? Don't raise your hand because you're thinking, oh my gosh, what in the world am I going to do? And that's okay because you can brainstorm before you leave with the people at your table because we all have strengths. This is what you would tell your class too, by the way. We all have strengths, and some of us have ideas and some of us implement ideas. And it's okay if you don't have an idea immediately. Somebody can help you, so just ask. All right, so those are excellent ideas. I know last year we had a lab, and they gave them all little test tubes in a container. I don't know the term, sorry. And they had to squeeze one from liquid into the teeny tiny test tube. That was pretty cool. So the point is there is some sort of activity with video, props, toys, whatever it is that you can somehow relate. Keeping the attention is really, really important. All right, then we're going to do curiosities. Again, how many minutes do we have that we're going to have their attention? 15 of the 20 minutes, right? So, at this point, they may be glazed over. Because we've done something, and I talked for a minute already, so I wonder when lunch is. Right? Okay, so we need to pep it back up. We might have to bring in a new game real quick, so everybody stand up. I'm not kidding, stand up. All right, does anybody have any questions about my career? Don't answer that right now. But you just had them move. That's all you did. They just moved. And then I'm going to play Simon Says. Simon Says, sit down. Simon Says, clap your hands. Simon Says, put both your hands in the air and put them down. Very good. All right, that's always fun, especially with adults. All right, so we just did a quick game. Now my question really is, so we just had a great game, and we talked about tensile and strength, and we wore headsets, and we dispatched, what in the world is dispatch, because you got to explain what in the world dispatch means, right? So we just did whatever it is, the activity that describes your career. And so now you want to get questions, okay? And if you get one question, you're doing excellent, okay? You really want to get one. If nobody says anything, it's painful. Then you have to just start pulling stuff out. All right, so if nobody asks a question, then you're going to say, what did you learn from that activity? That could be a question you ask them. Or you might say, I don't know, I'm going to really mess this up, but did the slinky break because of tensile or strength? And somebody says the right answer, and everybody gives them a thumbs up. Okay, so just a question. It's called curiosities. And then key takeaways. All right, I don't know if y'all know this, but if you pick construction as your career path, as you're representing, whatever you do in construction is awesome because that's your career. But there are like a ton of construction-related careers. So we're going to ask you to step outside your comfort zone a little bit and talk about your career, but also to mention maybe a couple of other ones in that career path. And I do have examples of what those might be. Now, if you are a young person or an old person and somebody says, ooh, this job is so cool, and you should take it, what's your first question?
How much money?
How much money does it make? You know, employers really just think that people should ask that because they should just be more interested in the value they're going to bring to the company. But I hate to tell you, 7th graders as well as all of us want to know how much are we going to make. So you need to be prepared to talk about that because even if you don't have it as part of your presentation, somebody's going to ask you in that room. So let's just talk about construction real quick because I just already picked that one. So I might just say that I'm an HVAC installer. That's what I do for a living here in Gainesville. And on here it says that the average wage of an HVAC installer here in Georgia is $40,000, which is awesome, right? And I didn't have to go to college for that. I got multiple certifications, and then I have to do a lot of time and a lot of work with people that have been in the job for a really long time. So I really love my job because I get to be outside, but sometimes it gets really hot. I mean, that's the kind of thing you could say. So what did I do? Did I talk about education? What do I do after high school? I talked a little bit about money. I talked about what I do. But then, you know, there's construction managers. Now, I know a few of those, and they don't spend a whole lot of time outside. I mean, they're outside sometimes, but they've been around construction for a long time, and they're more about management and making sure things are going right and the estimates and dollar amounts are added up. But they make like over $100,000 a year. They make a lot of money, but they do have to go to college usually. So that's the kind of thing you're going to talk about. So it's just important to talk about a little teeny tiny drop, just a little drop of something else about that career path that you're representing, whatever it happens to be. And let's all remember that whatever other position you choose to talk about, let's not only talk about the ones that take a PhD, okay? Because not everybody's going to get a PhD. That's pretty important to remember when you're picking out a few things to talk about. All right. You want them to remember your business. So if you have a takeaway to give to them, awesome. You should be prepared for, is it 25? 25 students per cohort. I'm going to explain to you what that means in just a second. So if you have any sort of giveaway to give, that's how many you need. A giveaway might be a coupon to buy something that represents your business. A giveaway might be a bouncy ball with your logo on it. Don't give them anything big or heavy. Does anybody else have an example of what a giveaway might be?
Golf balls.
Chapstick, golf ball. Okay, maybe.
Joke.
Oh, okay. Good, I'm glad. All right, very good. So giveaways. Or it could be even a piece of paper describing what you just said with pictures on it so that they could take it home and say, oh, I went to 4 career paths today, but this one was really cool and this tells me more about it. Because if their parents ask them, they're being good parents. All right. And then you're trying to get something back from them. What was fun about today? What did you learn today? Does anybody want to do this as a job? That kind of stuff. And, okay, very good. So that's basically your presentation in a 15 to 20 minute time period. Does anybody have any questions about